Start recording.
And quickly
Cool.
just
Time for me to
welcome
turn off the
people.
video.
Oh, okay, man. Thanks for abandoning me, Giri. That was not the best, but welcome everybody to the watch along. The quiz has already started. I'm not starting recording at the best possible time. We're being super inefficient about this, but this time around you should be able to hear. What we're going to do is we're mostly going to watch, but beach may if I can add something about the questions about the data, I'll do so, and I request you to do the same. That is kind of the point of this. I'll turn on the audio now and let's go. And if one of you could turn your video on, that would be nice instead of me just watching myself.
I'm doing it on the phone right now. Let me move to my laptop.
Okay.
During Ram Navami or Gudi Padwa celebrations.
Aksha, thank you so much for turning your video on.
No worries.
Vikas says A Wala switch it on, doesn't turn his own video on.
10 seconds.
Hi, Vikas.
Should have been like in the kitchen, man.
Excuses.
All.
How is Summer Drinks doing actually? Okay, Summer Drinks, this is which one? This is Panakam.
This is Panakam.
And
Show me how the level split. Oh, it's looking very good. Very nice.
yeah, it's quite nice actually. 22% answering for Panakam.
Civilization, one of 4 ancient riverine
So,
civilizations
Navami was,
alongside
I think a couple
Nile
of,
Valley,
I think
Yellow
a month
River.
back or so. So like this did come up in like recent memory and stuff. So I suppose.
Yeah, I literally heard of this when I was at Goa with a friend and they had some Panakam based drink there.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
Like travails of a bar owner in Bangalore, man. You need to get innovative.
Yeah.
Very topical.
my issue with this entire quad is that I think we've been using the word purported wrong. I've said it so many times while reading now that I think the word itself is wrong. I think there's purported, but I suspect we're using it incorrectly. I'm not sure.
Again, which creature would have just sufficed, right? Like,
So
I think
you had
purported was good in this case.
yeah, so I
Personally,
initially
because
had
I was
questions initially had which creature, but I felt like people will turn back at me and be like, hey, that's not a real creature, and create an issue.
I was
Actually, go on.
I was stuck between unicorn and Loch Ness monster for this
Yeah.
because both are Scottish. Then the
Yeah.
purported, I thought that made more sense for something that is thought to be
Doesn't-
real than something that's completely mythological for
Wow.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, thanks.
Helpful.
This is my mother's favorite quad, the celebrity couple one.
Yeah. The question, the group that I read for today, they actually got, I think, 3 of the 4, during the quiz, and they're like insane numbers. Because I remember, like the group that I was part of, we got nothing. We got none of that.
I thought they were all doable, but then the person who asked the questions will always think that. So
The first quiz I read, they got all 4.
Oh wow. Okay.
So the tier 3.
Nice.
Ram, Vora got a 3 out of 4.
yeah, Vora got a musketeer in celebrity couples.
Oh, wow.
It's one of those
Wow.
things you can make fun of somebody even if they get it right.
Tabloid, huh? So does anyone know more about this Ashur Banipal?
I don't even know what this is.
He was the last Babylonian, I mean
Yeah.
the Assyrian king, and Nebuchadnezzar basically destroyed his whole city and all that.
Okay.
And his
So
library
someone-
was where the Gilgamesh tablets were found later on in 1870s, 50s
Okay.
or whatever.
Someone actually guessed Nebuchadnezzar for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As it
Probably
stands,
will be a
Ashur
common
Banipal,
difference. Yeah.
Ashur Banipal turned out to be a little harder than Ziggurat.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected. Actually, I don't know, man. All of this looks like Greek to me, so I don't know.
I wouldn't have imagined that. I thought genuinely Ziggurat is harder, but clearly not. Yeah.
Harman, some of our friends, who are specifically into board games and like lore building and all that, right?
Mhm.
They would love this, man. They would have gone gaga at this, on that round specifically.
The bodybuilding one?
No, the lore building one,
Okay,
Mesopotamia and so on.
Got
Mm.
Like everyone who participates in, like, say, who really gets into the history behind D&D and so on, right? They're doing, yes, cool. All this is inspired from so and so, so and so, so and so.
I watched some people get this one nicely just from that athletic competition thing at the end. They did not know that it was a bodybuilding event. They just got it from the fact that this is Olympics, and they got Mr. Olympia from that.
I got this, and I was like, again, very
No,
happy.
that's not
Like,
correct.
yes,
Samant?
I think I needed the prompt, but I knew it. But I think it
Kunal?
was for something like,
Pass.
I knew it was Olympia something. I
Paul?
wasn't sure if it was Mr. Olympia.
Paul
I
will
think
get
that
this.
like, I got the prompt and okay,
Could
Mr.
you
Olympia.
repeat that, please? It broke up.
Mr. Olympia.
Mr. Olympia.
Mr.
Yeah, there we go.
Olympia.
Paul gets it.
Yes.
Olympia and Olympus.
Oh, Samantha is trailing. Huh? Interesting.
Which acid obtained mostly from fruits like grapes and
I now have a-
Loud Discord, man. Loud
Yeah.
Discord. Yeah.
I've noticed people have a soft spot for classroom quads. Anything that brings back stuff from your school days, people tend to like those.
You know what? The thing that I really like, I had major issue with when I was reading was like that the script basically says, yeah, anyone who can give the, I think the eth plus name for the damn thing is like, that's the right answer. Like it is, but are you really like, is that what you should be able to guess out of the question?
What?
Which one?
What are you saying?
So like, what is this?
Pass.
This was tartaric, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
So
That's not
oh wait,
correct.
no, was it for
It's tartaric.
Was it from
Yeah, I
plastic or
remember
something?
it was for oxalic acid. One
Oh,
of the
right,
accepted answers were ethane dioic acid.
Quentin Tarantino
Yeah,
has
because
a
yeah.
long-lasting
That's the
relationship with
scientific
Robert
name for
Rodriguez.
it.
Correct.
In 2007,
I'm like, dude, that's
Tarantino
literally just
combined Robert
translating what's
Rodriguez
written on
with
screen.
release
Like,
a
what I
documentary
see.
that is a group of
I know, but it
scientists
is an
who
acceptable
discovered
answer
that
because it is an alternate
combining
name for it. Right?
Tarantino's
Kya kare?
great promotion
Huh?
stunt man with
Oh, what we could have done though, we could have said
scientific
also known as this acid, then that is out of the
Okay.
question.
70s theater
Okay,
that
yeah,
mainly
yeah,
showed
yeah.
low-budget horror
Yeah,
thriller
maybe.
and
I would actually petition for accepting the structure of the acids as well, because in that case I knew the structure in my head, but I couldn't
Hey,
figure
someone-
out
Which
the name
country's
in
national
time.
anthem
Someone
has
Bloody
got-
hell, man.
glitch as
Someone got grindhouse very
Brave
easily.
is
By the way, Vikas and I are currently having a couple fight,
some
and I'm using grindhouse as my weapon. Vikas is using something else as his for bad L4s. Just FYI, I thought you guys might want to know the mechanics of building a question set.
Nice.
Yeah, essentially, like when it comes to geography, I'll be like sub easy hai. When it comes to something else, he'll be like ये easy hai.
That's exactly what happens. He makes an entertainment chord, and I think, what shit is this? This is very straightforward. Then he makes a geography chord, and like, this is incredibly obscure. I don't know what the hell any of this is.
Also, like, does anyone know in which browsers is that show current answer thing actually supported?
All
Chrome it is, but I don't know.
Brave it is.
On my Chrome, it doesn't work, man.
You weren't able to show answers.
Yeah. So I had to end up like saying out the answer.
Oh,
Did you
Which is also
update the plugin from when it was 5-6 weeks ago?
No, I installed it like on some 3 days ago, man.
Oh, then it should work. Don't know.
Okay.
Well, CR decided to go a little extreme on an earlier quiz for this question. Somebody said Riders Cup, and CR said no, and passed on.
Oh wow.
It's
Oh, wow.
Ryder Cup, not Riders Cup. We did end up correcting that. We accepted Ryder Cup. But CR is right, actually. At a certain level of quizzing, I suppose you would have to be particular about that also.
I mean, it's a person's name, I suppose. Like, so the plural form of the name probably wouldn't have come, but
So it's not plural, it's possessive. Riders as an apostrophe.
no. Are you sure that's what the person said?
I mean, itna benefit of the doubt pa what?
Yeah. I mean, you accept the second name as the right name when you say Mr. X. So
Fine,
yeah.
fine. I actually really
Oh.
enjoyed this question. I did not know what a cigarette was before this, but I feel like I would still be able to answer this just because it's like it's you've come across the word at some point and it kind of fits.
Fits into the great dash of Ur.
Yeah, just the protrude and pinnacle. Like I have a sense that ziggurat means something like that. I did not know that it had any sort of Mesopotamian connection at all.
Hey, does Zenith come from the ziggurat word or something?
No idea.
Probably has same roots, but I don't know.
Answer, please.
Yeah.
Would be making guesses right now.
Yeah, I mean, peak, pinnacle sound similar.
I suspect Paul is going to get this again.
Can't wait for the fresco thing to start, man. I have such an interesting factoid from what happened today.
Samath gets it right. Three all. Wow.
Someone just got the ziggurat.
Yeah.
Oh, at the end of two rounds,
Akshay
at
got a
the end of
musket.
2 rounds, it's all type. What the hell, man?
Unnecessary.
Akshay
Hey,
got a
listen,
musket.
start making up a few more tiebreakers, okay? Like, this is not going to be enough.
No, it's fine. The second, I mean, I don't know if this was intentional or not, because you can tell me if it was. The first nearest to the bull question can still result in a tie because it's got that League of Nations hint in it, and people can do 1920. But the second nearest to the bull question is so out there that nobody's going to be even like within 1 century of the answer. Nobody's going to get a tie after that.
The 5 presidents thing, right?
No, the other one, the floods.
Second one.
Okay, okay.
Second one is literally some Polish king, some Japanese shogun, some shit like that.
I would have opted out, man. If I was at that stage and you asked me that question, I would be just like, no, forget it. The
Like,
other
bro,
person.
nahi their answer. Not giving you answer. Go.
Arno floods is a huge event in history.
I was told Arno has flooded multiple times when I was reading this. I did not know that's right or not. But,
Okay, that I didn't. Definitely, Arno flood has happened in 3033. That much I know.
What was the question? I didn't see the.
I'll post in the chat.
Wait, are they taking a break for a couple of minutes?
I'm not sure.
We do.
Meanwhile, I'll just put the tiebreak that we were talking about in the chat, just so everybody over here can see it. This shows up. This is the absolute last question. After 2 sets of tiebreaks and 1 nearest to the bull have all resulted in a tie, then we ask this question. Which year connects the following events? Arno floods, siege of Kamakura, and King Vladislav I of Poland's death. There's so many new words here that I don't think will come particularly close. Hey, what happened? Why did they pause?
We
Like,
can.
they're all moving
Sorry
about.
about that,
They
Kunal.
may
I
be
had
taking
to
a couple of minutes.
pass you on that previous question.
Yeah,
The
no
answer
problem.
was-
There's a power cut. I might.
Oh, Kunal dropped off.
Okay.
Yeah, the answer is Sigurat. I had to pass you, but we're waiting for you for the next
Oh, wow,
one.
okay.
Paul, this is your
I
question.
think Kunal dropped off.
Yeah.
The most common conflict.
I've received some nice feedback for this squad, and I think it's brilliant as well. The
Loud
3D.
this squad. Loud this squad. Again, wanted to kill myself like every time because of the like. I think it took me the first question to actually figure out that no, it has to be from 3DG. Because I got thrown off by the coltan thing.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but after
initially I did not put the brackets which said referring to the 3 T's and 1 G. It just said 3 T's. And I asked a couple of people and everyone said like, okay, what did the 3 T's even mean? So I was like, I'm not going to spell it out, but I will just put a bracket. It says it's referring to 3 different T's and 1 G.
Diamonds.
Yeah.
The first time I read a quiz, I still didn't know why you put that 3 T's and 1 G, and I thought that was kind of unnecessary. And deep into the quiz, I realized, 3 of the answers are T's and 1 of the answers is G. Achha.
Yeah. Again, what like I remember the tantalum thing, like while guessing it for non-com.
Yeah, I also got it non-comp only.
Yeah.
Tantalum,
Like
yeah.
capacitor, like you know what really bothered me about that? Why on hell did you have to mention capacitors and mobile phones? Like if it were just capacitors, like I'm sure more people would have got it.
Okay. What should we have done?
No, just why even specifying the mobile phone thing at all? Like capacitors, so the tantalum capacitors, like the ultra thin ones, okay, the one which are, I think in the like the ones which are which you can barely squeeze in on a breadboard, like which are again ultra tiny. Again, I have the shape, the weird octopi looking ones, man. The ones which have a
I'm sorry to
semi-circular
interrupt.
sort of shape.
I wanted to add something nice about this question. The data gave something quite interesting about this. It's got a lot of, it's got very few passes. And normally that would mean that, it's like one of the easier questions, but this is not one of the easier questions because there were so many wrong answers. This is the Puma question. Instead of Puma, people went for Reebok, people went for Adidas, people went for Nike. This has a lot, but the ratio of wrong to pass is extremely high for the Puma question.
I had to make sure I was, saying it correctly, and like I spelled through the whole. Wait, so Adidasler, and then Puma for this guy. God.
I thought that question was our tribute to like school time quiz, where this question kept popping up every other.
Oh yeah.
I did not know what this was.
Hey, this, like I remember this from a lot of cartoons, man. Like I think Ed and Eddie used to feature this quite a bit for whatever reason.
These creatures.
Yeah, Chupacabra. Like they used to...
I got this correct, Rahul here.
Yeah, anybody on the call who got this right?
I got correct, Rahul here.
Nice.
Which question?
Heidi Klum and Seal. No, Heidi Klum and Seal.
Seal. Oh, I was thinking Chupacabra, sorry.
Anybody on none of you 9 people?
Someone in the quiz that I was participating in got it right.
Yeah, same.
That way, so lots of people got it right. I want to know if anybody is here. Or is
Okay.
anybody willing to admit it? No?
The right
Okay.
answer.
No. I would have gotten it had it
Fresco
come.
is a technique of
No.
mural
Nice.
painting executed upon freshly laid lime
Or
plaster.
did I forget
The
seal by
creation
then?
of Adam is among Michelangelo's
Oh,
most
yes.
well-known
Yeah,
works.
yeah.
Pictured
You remember
here
this
is
question?
part of a large
Which building?
Yeah.
fresco on the same
Ah.
Yeah, is this Sistine Chapel, right?
I want to see if
named for
what the
15th
ratio is for this.
It's been
because
highly
it
scored, no?
shouldn't be high.
to another well-known
They
fresco.
should be.
The last
61, that's
scene
pretty low
behind
actually.
the altar.
I would
Oh,
expected
yeah.
like 80 types.
Me too. Yeah,
So
surprising.
Sistine Chapel, I think
Sistine
I think I got the sort of
Kunal, you're
like
second.
wherever I saw it getting guessed correctly, that was
Discovered by
right
Eric
immediate.
the Red in
Mhm.
1955,
But in
this
today's
artifact
quiz,
came
which I was
passing from
reading, I saw people actually go through the series of,
Norway
hey, you know,
to the
what if it is
Vatican
this
in
other,
Palma.
some other random
In
building, like
1721,
some basilica or
Prime
something
Minister came in and established
of
a town
the, you know,
today known as
Christ's
Rome,
birth and so on.
which
Like, huh.
island, whose
Also, I
murals
want to kill
depicted
whoever
the
made this
sea
question, man.
in
Like, damn you guys.
1953, becoming a part
I
of
think
the
this
Like,
would be the
it gained
easiest
more
questions
in
of all, right?
Yeah, yeah.
1999.
This was the Greenland one, if I remember correctly. And the whole kill
Greenland is
being
the
like,
correct answer.
like, you know, make you
Move on
want
to
to
the
like,
next round.
you know,
Sorry,
make you want to
one
slit
more
your arms
question
because,
for you, Kunal, before
are you
this.
kidding me? That is the
I am
answer.
not a Christian is a 1927
He is
essay by
Nuke is
which
the capital.
British philosopher.
Yeah.
In it, the author defines the term and
And,
then sets
And
out
fun fact about that,
why he is
another fun fact about that
while
quad
also
was like,
covering
again, I ended up
theological
giving the
arguments
answer
for
for
the existence
one of
of
the further
God,
questions, like, you know,
Christian
earlier upfront.
theology's
Probably for
principles,
this.
and Darwin's theories.
Yeah, okay.
Bertrand Russell?
Bertrand Russell.
anybody who are Bertrand Russell on the call?
We move on to the next round.
I got
Which one?
Although this family started
Sorry.
producing leather
Akshay.
in Italy
I got
in
Yeah,
1860,
I got
or
this too.
today
Rahul.
was only founded in a saddlery in Florence in 1906.
I feel like, I don't know if this is true or not. I
Brand
feel
was
like for the
all
last
built in
several
a
weeks, we have
pipe
somehow in some
from
shape or
the
form been
high
asking for a lot of
Empire
fashion houses.
until
Yeah.
family
See,
members
last week
mentioned
Gucci was a
the
common
US
guess in almost all the
represents
fashion house
state, the
questions,
Middle East
and this week it
represents
came
the
up.
banking
That was a bit
Yeah.
cruel, but yeah.
And I think it came up in some other quiz leagues also. I swear we're not planning
That's
this.
why, yeah, it came
Yeah,
up
it came up in AQL.
Yeah.
ZQL
No,
also.
ZQL also. Like Gucci,
Oh, yeah.
this
This
Gucci Prada
week-
nonsense has been happening everywhere.
This week, ZQL had a fashion house.
Are you like, you know, trying to go away from the typical quiz house squads and, you know, in that sense, like falling into the fashion trap?
Gucci is correct. House of
Hey,
Gucci.
ZQL week is over. No, we have been saying out loud shit.
Which wind-based musical instrument played
I
with
think it is
continuously vibrating
Akshay is yet to
and a
play
technique
Flames,
called
if I'm not
circular
wrong.
breathing
Oh
is
God.
being used by
Yeah, I
indigenous
haven't played
people of
Flames.
Australia from
So let's
His
not.
match was
Just,
postponed a couple of times.
listen, just answer Gucci for everything. Okay, for literally everything. Doesn't matter what the question is. Just say Gucci all the time.
I
as
just
well
passed
as
the fashion
opening
questions on
bar
this. It's
Black Eyed Peas number Pump It.
Didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo is the correct
Didgeridoo.
answer.
This
It's
is
still very close, man.
Pictured here is
This is good.
Giovanni
Yeah, this is
Dude, like
What
5,
am
6,
I
6, 5. You will end up resolving like 2 ties, man, at least.
that can be seen at the monastery of Santa
You
Maria
corrected. I mean, yeah, I got
in
that. The
Milan.
first
I
time
think
tiebreaker was.
It's my guess.
We can take bets actually if you want. Do you want to bet on how many ties we're resolving at the end of
The
this?
other side of the wall.
One time.
I'm guessing
What do you
2.
want to?
I'm guessing
Is the
2.
correct
Two.
answer.
Okay.
I'm guessing there will be a tiebreaker. Yes, that's what
I'm guessing 3 people will be in a tie.
Which celebrity
I wanna go for
That's still 2 ties that you have to resolve, no?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, who remembers Arun Nair from here?
Jodhpur.
I
Hey,
got so
someone
confused.
guessed, man. So someone guessed it correctly today.
Yeah,
I'm
lots
like,
of- lots
who
of
the
them
hell
got
was
it.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, no, one of the quizzes I read, it was answered correctly, but like I couldn't remember Arun Nair for
Have you? 16%.
16%. See, look at that.
It's pretty low.
See, out of the 4 things, out of the 4 couples, I think we might remember. I'm sure we remember probably the women in all the 4, but
Exactly.
not
Yeah,
as
nah.
yeah.
This is you projecting. This is.
I didn't
it
know.
varies.
Listen,
All right,
listen.
Bala.
Apart from Salman Rushdie and Russell Brand, and even Russell Brand was oh wait, yeah, that weird looking dude.
Arey yaar, what is this? Russell Brand is pretty big on his own also.
No, Russell
Huh?
Brand.
Right,
I
he
remember,
can.
thankfully.
No, but
I
ठीक
knew
है,
Katy
like-
Perry wala trivia because I watched Russell Brand. Otherwise, I
Oh,
wouldn't.
look at that.
Oh,
See,
okay.
other side.
Oh, nice.
Paul.
No, fair enough. But I mean, I would have
Hey,
had a shout for maybe just
got missed.
Another
for,
X.
for the women
Got
at least.
missed.
Another X. No one remembers Arun Nair's name, seriously.
Damn.
Wait, what fashion brand was he? Like an Air 2 or something?
Textile.
Some textile brand. It's a not
See,
Indian
that's the
name
thing.
also. It's a foreign name.
This
With English
question.
name, something.
This question, by the way, I refused to read. I said the images on the screen. Please just tell me the answer. I picked
I
images.
wanted to, man. I so badly wanted to. Out of like, respect for the quiz league, I ended up just reading the damn thing.
Well,
I wanted to just like the thing.
I was involved in the quiz league, so I have no respect for it. So I just said.
Was this what is the conversion for backpack? The very
Oh, it's a good
Are you
question.
kidding me?
What is the name?
Are you
Seriously,
kidding me?
how many misses are
Bets,
there?
bets. What is the conversion for
I think
bagpipes?
90%.
The most this week. The most this week.
Bagpipes is 90%. It is the most this week.
Yeah.
It's tied for the
Nice,
most
nice.
with Yeti. Yeti is also
Okay,
90%. 29,
Nice.
29 corrects in 32 quizzes.
What is the least? Or did we still need to come there?
Least is
Oh no,
three.
there's
James
James
Buchanan.
Buchanan. Yeah, I think
You can-
Subrat answered correctly when I read.
My apologies
don't
for James
remember
Buchanan. I got talked into something. James Buchanan.
He said yes. I was like, okay, great.
I mean, if you put in the clue that it shares a name with the American
Ah,
president,
would
maybe it would have been easier.
फिर भी नहीं
It
होता
would have
है.
been easier, but still.
There is a name with the president would have made it
Yeah.
a good level 4 actually.
Maybe. Are Kunal is stuck on this?
Hey, did people actually get this right? Was the conversion on this one?
Lots of
Like a
people
lot
got
of
this,
people
right?
would have gotten
This-
say different
a lot of people
countries.
did.
This is
This
I
one, in one of the quizzes I read, it went to the fourth person. It's like, isn't this Switzerland?
Right answer.
45%.
See, when the first person misses, you start doubting it a little.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
Mined mostly in China.
Hey, Romanch is that
Also in
the language of the Roma, is it? Or
element is used in armor
I think so, yeah.
piercing as well
I
as
assume so.
in
those wandering nomad
blank
people, right?
carbide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, in this one, would you have accepted Wolfram as an answer?
I
Because
mean, no,
that's
because it's in the question, so no.
yeah, it's in the question, but I thought like it's still a name for tungsten. And
Yeah,
Is it? Is Wolfram a name for tungsten?
that's the chemical name. That is literally the
Latin
chemical
name.
name.
Latin name for tungsten.
Oh, grand.
That's
But
what it's
it's,
called,
it's
right?
I mean common enough that you can
Yeah.
refer to it as Wolfram and someone will
Yeah.
understand.
Interesting.
This questions, when the fourth one came up,
Tungsten.
when we explained that it's
Tungsten
3
is
TGs,
Hmm.
and someone is guessing not T or G.
Tungsten chemical.
It
I
finally reveals
explained
that-
that early in my again this shows you how much of a difference a reader makes. I explained it to the groups fairly early on.
Oh wait, did
Listen,
you?
the answers will need to be
Dude.
3 T's and 1 G.
And if you want to
Dude, like,
And-
but then that's like proposing what is the nature of the quad right at the right up front, right? Is
Correct.
that allowed?
Correct.
No, but it's there in the first question. If you read it properly, it's there in the first.
Is there?
No,
I
no,
did
it says
because
3T and
was-
1G, but the expectation shouldn't like it could have been that like we went in a different direction altogether, right? On
True.
say
I did it because it was a relatively lower tier and I wanted them to have a little more fun. And
Okay, okay.
Found in the streets of
Fair enough.
It's made from a mix.
Hey, how many people got
Yeah.
this right, man?
Paul will miss this. This is like, of course, unfortunate.
Yeah.
Lucky Kunal sitting in the next line for this.
53%.
Nice.
Oh, very beautiful trail off over there.
Is
That's
it,
well
is
done.
it Paul's question? Is it Paul's question?
Yeah, it's Paul's
It
question.
is Paul's
question.
Unfortunate.
Kunal's
wow.
going to
Right?
say,
Kunal is next in line. Lucky for him.
Jigar Thanda.
There we go.
Jigar Thanda is the right answer.
there you go.
Hey, clarify that. Is Jigar heart or liver?
I thought
It's
Jigar was
liver.
liver.
It's liver.
I thought Jigar was
It's
liver.
liver.
Like-
Jigar is hard. What? No.
Hey, hey, wait, what?
I was pretty sure Jigar was liver.
Liver, right?
Its name comes from
Hey,
the fact that
what?
early
Macha, someone who
I
knows
have
Jigar.
all my life
Meaning.
been Jigar is
genus
hard.
plant, commonly known as wood
Kaleja.
stalk.
There you go.
Kaleja, liver.
Ah, I see.
Oh, liver.
Use Jigar, Tamil Jigar.
Hey, no man. Hey, listen, Tamil
It's
doesn't have
also
Jigar, okay?
used in like a hard context.
I
like
think
for
it is
close
hard.
friends.
That is why we say jigar ka tukda, piece of
Okay.
heart.
Ah,
No. So
Jigar.
that's the thing. In ancient Indians believe that the liver was the heart of all of liver was the heart. Liver was the center of all emotion and stuff, which is why Jigar ka tukda actually does make sense even if it is liver.
Okay.
We may have
This
messed up
organic
that
acid.
question.
Loud this, loud
This
this.
is one of the hardest questions. Right? Let's see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is which one? Oxalic?
Oxalic
Yeah.
acid. Simplest
Yeah.
dicarboxylic
Yeah.
acid.
And I again, my gripe with this
Oh.
question was I think
Everyone go to the video.
Except
Oh, someone got it.
Genus was oxalis.
Everyone passed.
dude, tomato wasn't mentioned,
Held
man.
every 2 years,
Like,
what biennial
again,
tournament organized
Kill me
by
that
FIDE
it wasn't
is a
like
competition
tomato
where
wasn't mentioned for that.
teams representing various nations compete.
By the way, this is
Although
the
the
second
sport
Olympic
is
related
itself
question in this
individual.
question set by total
Yeah.
coincidence,
Name for
like
this
not
team
planned.
At the same seat
Historic
also.
origin
Both are at the
and
same seat.
implies
Oh, wow,
more
okay.
Mr. Olympia and Chess
another
Olympia.
quadrennial sport
I saw it when
event.
editing,
Two-word
but I was
answer,
then
including
like,
the
hold
name
on,
of the
ran
sport
it there.
required.
It was also because it's probably Monday 5:30 by then.
Yeah, Monday 5. Yes.
This Olympiad is the
अभी
correct
कौन
answer.
लेके आएगा एक और level 1?
instruments in wide use
What happened to the
by a
instrument?
single individual.
Hey, the image
which
is not shown.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
there we go.
loading
I
now,
have
it's
the
loading.
picture. Sorry about that.
That's been I've been trying something out for
Being
next
one of the
week, and
few
I think that's
instruments in
happening
wide
again. The
use
images are a little
invented
too
by
high
a
res.
single individual,
We'll see.
which single reed woodwind instrument takes its name from its inventor Adolph Blank.
Oh, do you know this person's surname? What is the blank?
Sachs. Adolph Sachs.
It is my favorite surname of all time. Adolf Sachs.
Found its home in
Is it
Germany,
SAX?
where it
It's
was
SAX.
I think,
popularized by the
yeah, I
likes
knew
of
this from
Charlie Parker,
FLQ.
John
It was a
Coltrane,
question 2
and
Oh, okay.
season 2 or season 3.
Saxophone.
Not exactly, but yeah, it's
Saxophonist.
related to saxophone and Adolf Sachs.
Samanth, your two questions. In the annals of family
This helps
feud,
when you are
the
reading a
slugfest
lot
of
of
the
games,
Blank
right?
family of
Adolf
branches
Sachs
is one of
stays
the
in the
biggest,
brain.
meanest,
It
and
doesn't
longest
go
running.
away.
Which family is the New York describing here during their protracted court case? The second largest privately owned company in the US, they made their conglomerate from refining of petroleum before diversifying and are also engaged in politics majorly.
He got oxalic acid, by the way. I read the hill.
Nice.
Dude, Kothari doesn't follow trends at all, man. He misses a bunch of easy questions and then he gets all the L4s. Like, it makes no sense what Kothari
event
knows.
in professional men's bodybuilding is the Blank Classic, a multi-sport festival established
I want to
in
see someone again.
1989 and held in Columbus,
I haven't been in
Spain.
any
After
quizzes
the
where people
former
miss this. This
bodybuilder,
hasn't been
the
missed
youngest
often.
ever to win
This hasn't been
Mr.
missed. It was
Olympia
missed in
title
our
in the
quiz.
start
Yeah?
of the 19
Wait, what?
No one knew Coleman.
documentary Pumping
Hey,
No,
no,
this is not
Coleman.
Coleman. This is Arnold
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger.
who remains
Oh,
a prominent
Schwarzenegger.
figure
Sorry.
in
Sorry, I thought
Yeah,
that's the
this is right.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is
This he will get time.
Kunal, your set of
Go.
questions.
Wait, how is it 76%, man?
Stanza di
God.
Raffaello, a set
Oh,
of
yeah.
rooms in the Apostolic
So,
Palace
fun fact
in
about this question.
Vatican is adorned with
I
frescoes
was
created
reading
by
a
the
quiz
artist
today
Raphael.
where the
One
person
such
gave the
work
answer
depicted
in
here
German
showcases the
and
supposed
it sounded
transfer
right.
of
So I had to,
authority
I just
over
asked him to
Rome
like
and
type
the
it out and
western
I had to
Western
Google
part
translate
Translate?
and open that
Roman
Wikipedia
Empire
page to
to
see
the
that it
Pope.
is exactly
The
that.
papacy
And
follows
exactly
the
this image shows up.
Roman imperial decree
Is it Bastion?
by
Bastion,
the
yeah.
fourth
Yeah,
century
exactly.
emperor
So
No,
it was
Bastion.
constant. It was Constantine something which means giving, and I'm like, that's how you translate it as well. But like, is that the real name? I had to
Very
confirm
nice.
that.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Global quiz
Is it
league.
Siddhant or Master?
Makes
Siddhant is
sense.
already played. Who's talking? This is a game. Yeah.
Giri is the person who's talking with everything.
Thanks. Who's not on video?
Yeah, I don't have.
Any
yeah, I
bets
don't
on
have
whether
video
people
on
will
right now.
get this? Will this group get this right?
Something
Yes,
like
100%.
constant.
100%.
100%.
Paul may get it.
That's not the correct
Amit will eat
answer.
this
Amit,
immediately.
Fast.
Samanth,
Oh,
Oh, someone will.
Donation of Constantine.
There we go.
donation of Constantine is the right answer.
Well done, Vikas. Well called.
Once counted among India's most revered entrepreneurs, the Singh brothers, Malvinder and Shivinder, ran which pharmaceutical
see
company
Dar's
for
comment
years
on
until they
YouTube
sold
slide.
it.
The first comment there is
Sai
मेरे को ऐसा
assigned
धक्का
to,
खुरी लगा
who in turn
Yeah.
sold it to
Yeah,
Sun
he asked,
Pharma
can we
in
answer? But he's
2014.
not playing the lead. So I
Accusations
think
of
he can
financial
answer.
yeah, you can.
irregularity
Just tell
and
him.
quality of medicines produced during their management led to the brothers' relationship deteriorating with allegations, counter allegations.
I mean,
and
but if
even
you answer, somebody
allegations
should
of
pay attention to
physical
what he's saying.
assault
Like, I'm not paying
surfacing
attention.
Ran back.
Arey, he gets immediate validation anyway
Is the correct answer.
Correct.
because the answer shows up on screen.
We've done
Run
with
back seat.
10 questions apiece. Samanth at
I've got a mental
11,
bookmark for all the
Samanth at
questions my
9,
mother got right, and Dan Bax is one of them.
Paul at 6.
I think if you're in India for a long time, you know the
Which
pharmaceutical
celebrity couple
company.
got married in
You
2010?
This is the last
try
10
to
years,
guess
right?
Ranbaxy
The
as the
Ranbaxy
first
thing
one.
was in the last 10 years, right?
Tiger Sanctuary.
Think
Between
so.
like 2010 to
Yeah, yeah.
2020.
Between the English comedian.
Oh wait, that's 10
sometime
years.
in
Okay.
2010.
Yeah.
And the American.
Hey, quickly guess about this one. Will anybody get this right in this book?
I Kissed a Girl.
Yeah, yeah.
Lasted 14
With some,
months.
Yeah, they
definitely
should.
someone.
Someone
I
Paul will
I
get it.
got this. I'll bet against. Won't bet
like
against.
of
anyone.
all the four, like I'm sure this is the one that people might get.
Katy Perry and Russell Brand.
Oh yeah, the
Yay.
Salman Rushdie one is also there. Yeah,
Right answer.
nice.
The OAS organization.
I've had some trouble with this one. So Shankar in a quiz said
Yeah.
Algerian said war in Algeria,
War.
and
Yeah.
I said
Same.
let's not accept that. Later on, I realized he was probably right, and we should have accepted it. Okay, if you have the funda, if you got till Algeria, you probably know
Yeah,
enough to get points.
yeah. That was my guess. That would have been my guess on non-com. Yeah.
We've underlined the word independence in the answer sheet, which is why readers will be looking
Yeah.
for that word.
He essentially said he stopped. He called off the war in.
Yeah, he said called off the war. Yeah.
So war is actually the opposite of why there was a fight in a way. So yeah, but I think the funder probably is thinking that.
Exactly. If you, I feel like if you know it's Algeria, like काफी है.
Dude,
This is level 4, right?
Did Piyush get this? Is the big question.
Yeah,
tell me one thing. How is Piyush the drink of the gods? Is there a translation there that I'm missing?
Piyush is supposed to be things that are क्या बोलते हैं, like
divine.
Divine, yeah.
Should we check if Piyush got this?
Check if Piyush got this.
Wait, there's a Piyush playing
There's
the.
a Piyush kid, yeah. 199.1.
One.
Okay. We're looking for 199.1. There we go.
Kunal?
And Piyush, he questioned. Yes, he got it right.
Yes.
Yes.
Victory,
I so
guys.
wanted to read the game. It was open, but I was reading a game half an hour after this. So I didn't
Moment of the league so far.
shifted. Yeah, that is definitely the one.
Piyush got Piyush.
Amit?
Oh, nice.
Probably the biggest gift that
At this point, I feel like we should throw in a Rahul gets Rahul also, just as tribute to people reading most quizzes.
I'm sorry, what?
Rahul is probably the most no profit you need.
Yeah, after Herman, I think I read it.
Paul is frozen.
It will be hard put to make a question of Herman.
Vinny got a musketeer in the squad. I read the game. Which
Yeah,
went
yeah,
to
yeah,
breaker.
Yeah, there are only two musketeers this time, and Vinny was on.
Couple of seconds for Paul.
Both are on Mesopotamia.
Both are musketeers.
Yeah, and Vinny got the tiebreaker Sargon push-up.
We can hear you, but we can't see you move.
Okay, hold on. Let me just change
Sorry?
it.
I thought.
'Cause I can be fine.
Is that his full name?
Yes, I think you should.
Vincenzo.
Yeah,
sorry.
Vincenzo. Not
Come
Vincent.
back again
Vincenzo.
on video.
Two musketeers.
Ah, nice. So we have one other musketeer here. Yes.
Yeah, Musketeer is in the call.
You can see me, is it?
I can. You're still a little
Nice,
jerky,
nice,
but
nice.
Oh, I want to hear this. What's happening?
Am I there?
You're fine. Yeah. You're perfect.
I think they're
Probably
having some
the
internet
Amit,
trouble.
your
Oh, okay.
question.
They're waiting.
Probably the
thought
biggest
that's some
gift
trouble
that
with the question.
Mesopotamian civilization gave to the world is its writing system. Believed to be
This is
the
also a
earliest
school
known system.
classroom
It
thing
was
for me.
first
Like I've heard the word
developed to write
cuneiform.
the
I've
Sumerian
not thought too much about what it
What
means.
is this logosyllabic?
You know, I thought it was
system?
Sumer. I mean, when the
Interesting.
question
Which
started, I
shaped
didn't.
impression
I tried to
and formed the
craze it. I thought
science.
Sumerian will be the answer, and I see Sumerian in the
Form
question. I was
is
like,
the
oh
right
no, I don't know it enough to get it correct.
It's happened a couple of times in other quizzes also. I see the question, I think I know this, and then I see the word that I'm thinking in the question. Like shit.
Norway is located about halfway between Norway and Iceland. Between 1035 and 1814, it was part of the Kingdom of Norway. Part of its
What was the answer here?
Denmark from
This
1300
was
Faroe.
each island group.
Tough one,
Again,
no?
covered
yeah, I
I-
think I got a German answer for this as well, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
Virgin
Islands.
Like which had the word Pharaoh somewhere in between. I'm like, yeah, that's probably right. Like at this point, I'm not translating anymore.
Switch Wi-Fi.
Ooh, let's see if someone gets this one. The toughest question.
नहीं यार, chance नहीं होना. Let's
भाई
see.
ये तो नहीं हो रहा.
Never know with these people, man.
Yeah, good point.
Wait, is this a tier 1 quiz?
This is a tier 2 quiz, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
no,
Are you okay?
No, tier one.
no, tier one.
Okay,
This is
okay.
this is tier one.
Okay.
Jeez.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you fine. It's
Okay,
just
that
your,
might be better
it's
now.
just your video.
Hold on. That okay?
Yes, it is. Why I too am not I too am not conservative is a collection of essays on liberalism and
This is a hard
conservatism
question to
by
read
which
also.
Nobel laureate.
There's too
Oh,
many
yeah.
conservatisms
In the work,
and
This
I
economist
don't know, too many long
for
words.
his public choice theory
Like
in the
right at the end, I
1962
had
work,
to like
The
pause
Calculus of
as
Consent,
distinguished
presents a
from
coherent
both
political and
modern
economic
liberalism and
position
conservatism.
on classical liberalism
Okay,
as
my bet is
distinguished
on
from both
Amit.
modern liberalism and conservatism.
Friedman.
Not
I
free.
bet it's on
No, that's
Paul.
not
Get it.
correct. Kunal?
Galbraith?
Friedman, some Archer,
No,
some
Amit
Root,
is also not
all these
correct.
were
Amit?
guesses, man.
Amit? Amit
Passes
passes.
to Paul.
Pass.
Passes.
Passes.
X.
This is James Buchanan, not the president. Kunal?
Some fun
Which
reactions to
American
this.
bodybuilder won the Mr. Olympia title a record 8 consecutive
I'm so
years
disappointed by how
despite
few of you know who
being
Ronnie
is
Coleman
widely
is. Listen,
considered
Ronnie Coleman is a
widely
fucking
regarded
inspiration,
as one
okay?
of the greatest of all
Yeah,
time.
I read about
So,
him after
been
this
recognized for
quiz.
his trademark
I
Like to
think
do what? To shout,
spectacular
yeah, buddy, and so on.
shouts of self-improvement and training videos.
I actually got thoda hyped up while reading the question. I would do yeah, buddy, while reading. So
No, that's how I read it for the first page that I read it for. But then I like significantly dropped enthusiasm afterwards. Like, हाँ ठीक है, लोग respond नहीं कर रहे. People weren't responding to that.
Yeah, it was answered in one of the quizzes which I read. Anil Raghavan, I think, answered it correctly.
Nice. Yeah, I think in some quiz, like I did see it get answered.
Do you want to guess percentage?
Ronnie
Maybe.
Coleman, it will be 20s.
50 odd.
I'd say
20s.
Ronnie Coleman 12.
Well,
Oh wow. Oh, okay, fine. Fair enough.
Again, Avinash got that also. So only Ghana answers. from this one.
Yeah, this man, I mean, L3 में interest नहीं है इसको.
Is the right answer.
I actually started measuring that, in case you want to see.
Which strong acid, a colorless
Right at the bottom of the answer analysis, you can see the people who got the most L4s. Okay, there are no names right now, there are only numbers. I'll add the names later on.
species, including humans. In our body,
Ronnie Coleman was on
breaks down
every
foods that
billboard
we eat,
all
while
over
history
Hyderabad.
is
Really?
a key component of in pickling of
So if you ever went to the gym, you would see Ronnie
acidity in solutions.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure I've seen many bodybuilding cases and never bothered to learn who it is.
I mean, you see the same guy everywhere. You're like, "Kaun hai bhai?" So
I would have been like, stop bitch.
Probably like seeing Zayn Malik in every barber shop.
are you in Bangalore? The person who said it was, are you in Bangalore?
No. But yeah, I'm from Chennai. So different.
Oh damn, Zayn Malik transcends region.
Is an essay written by which Indian
Sorry guys, 1 second. I'm trying to do something.
from the confines of
Who's the
Central jail. It was a reply to his
Vincenzo.
religious friend Baba Ranthir
Let me just
Singh,
try and make
accused
this a
him of
little easier to
becoming
read.
atheist because of his
Where's the 8? You saw an 8 somewhere? Oh, there's an 8.
Vincenzo,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, Vincenzo. Got 8 L4s.
Oh, wow.
क्या magic करता है यार Excel के साथ.
You would have learned a bit about Excel while doing this whole analysis thing.
I was going to ask you if was that like before or after your product management career?
No, product management taught me nothing compared to what this quiz league is doing.
Bhagat Singh is the right answer.
Guys, I have to drop out. I'm reading a quiz at 6:30.
Denmark acquired the
Have fun.
island of St. Thomas in
Just
1891 and St.
Bye-bye.
John,
Bye.
now St. John, in 1780.
Remember,
and
tell them
Saint
that B612
Croix
is better.
from,
Thanks.
France in 1733. These islands were known as the Danish West Indies and were eventually
Yeah, can you increase the volume of the quiz?
Yeah, sorry.
for $25 million.
I am not able to leave.
USA hoping to use them as
Not able to leave.
bases.
Best.
These islands
Best.
are known as
California right here.
today.
This is Hotel California.
Yeah, I found the leave button.
US
Thank you guys.
Virgin
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes, that's correct. Virgin Islands, US Virgin Islands. Amit? In August 2020, which Russian opposition leader and lawyer was poisoned by the Kremlin with a Novichok
I gave the second name.
agent during a
The
flight
pastor
from
tried to
Tomsk
get me to commit to a
Moscow?
first name. I'm like,
An
nope,
assassination
that's not.
attempt, he survived. He has organized
Just
many
give me the
anti-government
point and then we'll talk.
demonstrations and attempted to run for office to advocate reforms against corruption in Russia and Putin.
Navalny, right?
Alexei
Yeah,
Navalny
yeah.
is correct. Why I'm a Hindu is a
I laughed.
2018 book by which
There
Indian
is
member of
sometimes you see a
Parliament,
question and you
MP,
realize
in which he
that's why the
argues
code
that it is
exists.
precisely because Hindus form the
Like
majority
somebody
that
saw a
India
book and
has
thought,
So
"Aise
I
aur bhi
saw
honge."
as a plural
I saw all
secular
of the other
democracy.
questions and I'm like, dude, like, Tharoor might show up just because of this. And just very happy to go on right.
Shashi Tharoor is the right answer. Samant, as per one historian, this conflict mineral gets its name from an ancient Babylonian ethnic people called the Kassites. Today, while Bolivia and Rwanda
I
have
went to
access to
some
this
weird
mineral,
sort of brain
it's
fog
also a
when
cause
reading,
of
like when
conflict
trying
in the Walikare territory
to.
of DRC.
The hint
Which
is in the last two
silvery
words
colored
only.
chemical element do we derive from this
No, it's not.
conflict mineral?
Dude, solder
It is
has
used in
tin.
the
That is very
alloy
well known.
of
That's
pewter,
the issue.
soft
I think for some
solvers,
reason I was
and food
expecting
packaging.
like tin in my head. Like I wasn't really expecting tin. I was like essence, tannum, chemical element. Whoa, like that is what was going in my head for some random reason.
We should do more of these restricted guessing chords where people know what the first letter is or people know what the length is, something like that. Feels
Yeah.
like it makes for good guesses.
Yep. For some reason, I got hung up on like titanium as the elements.
Lithium.
No, that's not correct. Amit?
So they haven't figured it.
Yeah, they haven't figured
No,
it
they haven't figured it out.
Pass.
Paul,
Pass.
pass. This is tin.
So much for tier 1, guys.
Samant?
Tin.
Tin, yes. Easier.
Hey, which
Valerie
are the two?
Jean
Hey,
Solanas
which are the
was an
two?
American radical feminist known
bronze,
for
right?
the Scum
Like
Manifesto,
I think
which also
one of them
portrayed
is copper
an
and tin.
important
One of them
role
is
in the
copper and zinc.
1967 erotic movie I Am
Oh,
Man.
okay, yeah, that's
Who
what
was the
that's what
director
I
of
got caught
this
up.
movie, whom she shot the next year in a failed assassination attempt. While he has
Oh yeah,
directed,
you
produced over
said then.
150
Oh fuck.
films,
Oh
we
yeah.
know him for his
Now I
artistic
remember what I was getting.
pursuits. One such work of which sold for last week for a whopping
Guess
$200
percentage?
million.
This would be pretty
Andy
high.
Warhol is the right
60.
answer.
70.
A quote about Indian summer drinks cannot go without
40.
the mention of King of
Oh,
Fruits
barely
mango.
that.
Pune's own
Okay.
street
Man.
drink during
What was the thing that got sold last
is
week?
a mango milkshake.
The blue
topped with
sage
shoots of
Marilyn.
fresh fruit,
The
crunchy
repeated
nuts,
Marilyn Monroe.
succulent cherries,
Okay.
and
Okay.
whipped cream. What drink, named after the princess of Bundelkhand, who stole Peshwa
Oh God.
Bajirau's heart?
Like, there's only one name I know on related to Bajirao. But nah, cool. No, I'm not guessing.
People were passing in, man.
No,
Just
exactly
like,
because of that, right? And someone in today's quiz, someone actually said Bajirao Mastani had what is your answer? He's like, no, Mastani. Yeah.
Alina, answer please. Kunal?
Pass.
Amit?
Mastani.
You can accept that. Mango Mastani. Mastani is the right answer. Kunal, in 1996, Quentin Tarantino wrote the screenplay for which cult film by Robert Rodriguez, in which he also acted as one of the pair of criminal brothers, with the other being portrayed by George Clooney. The movie has spawned two sequels, one subtitled Texas Blood Money and the other The Hangman's Daughter.
Because Tarantino shows up a lot in
Dawn
quizzes,
and Dusk.
Tarantino questions tend to be kind of difficult now.
I'll prompt you.
Because you can't ask the easy ones.
yeah.
Dusk and Dawn.
Oh shit.
No, that's not the right answer. Amit?
Wait.
Dawn to Dusk.
Wait, what's that the right answer?
Oh,
Sorry, not right. Samant?
From dusk till dawn.
Hey, from
There
dusk
we
till
go.
dawn is the right
Dusk
answer, no?
till dawn.
he said from dusk
That's
to
the
dawn.
right answer.
No, he said dusk and dawn.
He said
That was the
Moving
first
on
one.
to the
Second
last
one said
of Samant
Dawn
dusk
tied
to
at
dawn.
14, Amit
Yeah.
close behind with 13,
Yeah.
Kunal and Paul
I
tied
think
at
something
10.
like
Good luck.
Unfortunately.
Okay, final round.
Pumping Iron was a 1977 docudrama about professional bodybuilding that turned the two leads, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lou Ferrigno, into household names. While Schwarzenegger went on to have a storied career in film and politics, what acting role did Ferrigno eventually become famous for? He portrayed this character in various TV and film through the 80s and continued to provide the voice for him in contemporary cinematic universes.
Okay, so was Ferrigno the guy who played the Hulk in
Hulk is the right answer.
the really bad production of Hulk in
Yeah, his voice, and his body is normally used for
his work
Okay.
on the
cinematic
life of
depictions.
Virgin Mary at a chapel in Padua, Italy. Pictured here
Today I
is
saw
one
the
of the
of
works in the book
people
that depicts a
saying
critical biblical scene
birth of Christ
involving Virgin
and
Mary
not
at
being
first.
able to give the
What
one
is the
word name
title of this
and
painting?
guessing something totally random. That was fun.
The Adoration.
No, it's not the Adoration, Kunal.
Immaculate Conception.
Not that, not Immaculate Conception. Amit?
Pass.
Passes to Samant.
Nativity.
Nativity is the right answer. Amit?
Okay, someone
This
pulling up.
town in the Mayiladurai district in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu
Dude.
was established in
one, no?
1680 as the
I
first
was
Danish
so
trading
happy
post
someone
in
actually
India.
guessed it. I
An
had no
annual
clue.
tribute
I
was
had
paid by
zero
the
clue about
Danes
this.
to the Raja of
I'm from Tamil Nadu, by the way, so that's the reason I'm like,
under whose
yeah,
jurisdiction this
no clue what this
colony
was.
lay until it was sold to the
I don't
British
think there'll
East
be a
India
tie for
Company
first
in
place.
1845. What is the name of this colony?
I suspect this is going to be an X.
Nah, no chance.
Samant is from Tamil Nadu.
So is Giri.
So
Yeah, bro, nahi aata hai.
I mean, if you've ever, I think these
it's
guys
reasonably
probably
popular
have,
in
because there are only 3 Danish colonies in India: Serampore, Tranquebar, and
seconds.
Nicobar Islands. So
Okay. Okay.
I mean, you might even know the Tamil name more than the English.
Yeah.
Forgot it.
Only
Tanjore.
Fair enough.
No, not Tanjore. Kunal,
Tranquebar?
Tranquebar is correct. Tranquebar or Tarangamadi.
Nice.
Amit, when this Mediterranean island nation was
is a
declared
very good
independent
question.
from Great Britain in 1960, there was no mention of a national anthem. Thanks to this,
Very
the
nicely
two
guessed.
large groups that inhabit the island from the two nearby nations have adopted their home countries'
That little S
respective
over there
national
tells you to
anthems
guess islands
as
near
the
Greece.
official one. If one is Istiklal Marsi or Independence March, and the other is Hymn to Freedom, that's translated, which country are we talking about?
Cyprus.
Cyprus is correct. Samant. 16th century
Okay, there
Spanish
might still be a
explorers
tie.
and Mexican settlers in America told tales of
Oh,
Los
this is
Vigilantes
something
Camperos or Dark Watchers, a large creature which used to stalk their camps at night, allegedly. The modern name came to be when large tracks were seen
What
in the
percentage
Six
is this?
Rivers National Forest
Triple
and
line.
logging
Pretty high as well.
that
One
was
of the easiest
involved in the
ones. There we go.
discovery used the
90%.
term to describe the creature.
Oh no, Bigfoot, sorry.
Which
Bigfoot is
purported
60%.
creature?
Yeti, Loch Ness, Bigfoot, Chupacabra, all of them were extremely high.
80 is 90.
Everything was pretty high.
Bigfoot is correct. Bigfoot
Chupacabra
is
is
everything
correct.
except Sasquatch also.
Okay, someone
Samant,
has a lead.
what acid
Oh
is
shit.
4% of vinegar by volume, making it
Yeah,
the
someone on
main
17.
component of vinegar apart from water and other
Definitely.
trace elements. This acid is also used in the production of photographic film, wood glue,
Which
and
means no ties,
synthetic
right?
fibers and fabrics.
No ties.
In
No ties.
biochemistry,
Yeah,
the blank group derived from it is fundamental to all forms of life.
Acetic acid.
Acetic acid is correct. Acetic acid part of vinegar. Kunal, the last two questions are for you. Which wind-based musical instrument, part of a standard Western orchestra, is
I'm
held
surprised at
directly
how low
in
this
front
was.
of the player, but due to its
So
large size,
one of the
requires a
fun things
waist
about this,
strap or
in your own
seating to
spare
be
time,
played. The
left as the
2011
exercise to the
Kanye
reading.
West albums
Go
have
and figure
this
out what the
best,
German name
as
for
he once
bassoon is.
famously tweeted, while it is part of almost all
Samant,
major
if you look at it,
orchestral
he has 12 out of
arrangements.
16 own, and his team has 4 X's. Basically, the one scene is nobody answered.
Oh wow. A bassoon in German is faggot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fagut.
So
Yeah.
yeah. When Bashan guessed that today,
Italian also. Italian also.
Giri, did you get offended when he guessed that?
No,
Because faggot essentially means the bundle of sticks.
I had to ask him to like repeat it. Had to type it out and like I had
Not the
translated that
oboe,
specifically
Paul.
just to make sure that wait what?
He missed it.
Bassoon
Paul
is the
got it.
right answer. On 28 July 1944, Klaus von Stauffenberg and other conspirators attempted to assassinate Adolf Hitler inside his Wolf's Lair field headquarters. With the goal of wresting political control of Germany from the Nazis, this operation wasn't a success. What was this operation called? Named after one of Odin's handmaids. A 2008 film about these
will a third place
events
tie
was
be
also named the
broken?
same.
No.
Valkyrie.
I mean,
Valkyrie
unless
is
CR
the right
decides to
answer.
do that independently.
We end the quiz. Samant with 17 wins the quiz. Amit with 14 finishes second. Paul and Kunal.
This is the X's and feedback for each seat. Seat 4 was actually slightly easier.
Well played, guys.
Thanks, here.
Yeah, thanks,
Well
thanks
played.
guys. Thanks here for reading. Yeah. All the best.
Thanks.
Well played.
Nice.
All the best to all of you.
Okay, that concludes our quiz. As well as our retro. Thank you, everybody. That was fun.
5.
Sorry?
They got 55 out of 64. They missed out 9.
Yes, and nothing on seat 4. As you can see over here, seat 4 has lower than the number of X's. Over the past several weeks, we've actually consistently given seat 4 a slightly easier ride, and this is not intentional in any way. It just happens. I'm not sure why.
I'll try and make sure that if it is another seat.
Don't put me in seat 4 because you guys will overcompensate.
Then if you're in seat 1, watch out. Cool. Yeah. So see you guys next week.
All right, bye, Thanks for joining, Akshay.